Aurora and Arthur Petrova, the family's summer holiday in Dover? Yeah, right. Part 4. The Grand Burston Hotel is a crumbling sight, a relic of shadows in the morning's dim light. It stands like a giant, both weary and old, with stories of decades that remain untold. The seaside is waking, the seagulls all cry, as gray clouds of August assemble on high. Aurora is scowling. Her mood is quite grim, as she thinks of the pool where she didn't get to swim. Her pink glasses sit on the bridge of her nose, while she waits for the day and the drama it holds. In the Victorian restaurant, grand and immense, the air is remarkably humid and dense. The ceiling is high, with gold leaf that peels, as the family sits for the last of their meals. Pitar is checking his watch with a frown, his blue glasses glinting, his spirit weighted down. Marija is elegant, draped in bright orange, her presence as sturdy as a heavy door hinge. She hides all the scars of a childhood once tough, beneath vibrant fabrics and delicate fluff. Burze Arthur, Burze Artur. Hurry up, son, Pitar says, with a voice that is devoid of fun. We have a long journey, a schedule to keep, before the whole world is fallen asleep. He adjusts his blue frames as he looks at the door, while crumbs of dry toast fall away to the floor. Aurora is silent, a statue of stone, feeling quite bitter and remarkably alone. She stares at her cereal, lumpy and cold, as the secrets of moving begin to unfold. Arthur is chirping, a fountain of words, like the busiest choir of local songbirds. His green glasses sparkle, his energy high, as he points to a plane in the overcast sky. Will we see the museum? Will we see the old tracks? I've got all my treasures tucked into my packs. Marija just smiles, though her heart is quite heavy, like water that's pressing against a stone levee. She knows that the news of the move will be hard, a hand that will play a very difficult card. The breakfast is truly, remarkably atrocious, and the staff at the hotel are far from precocious. The porridge is lumpy, the coffee is charred, and the butter is frozen and incredibly hard. This place is a relic, Pitar mutters in blue, a monument built for a Victorian view. He longs for a home that is modern and sleek, not walls that are crumbling, dusty and weak. The sibilance of the steam from the kitchen's hot grate sounds like a warning of a miserable fate. They walk to the car, the 2009 red Audi A3, which sits in the car park for all folk to see. It's small and it's rattled, a diesel-powered beast, but today it must travel at least to the east. Aurora and Arthur climb into the back, squeezed in between every suitcase and pack. It's cramped, cries Aurora. I've no room to breathe, as her anger begins to internally seethe. The car is a metaphor, tight and restrained, for the feelings of fury she's recently gained. Pitar is shoving a trunk in the boot, wearing his pride like a well-tailored suit. He dreams of a gearbox more supple and grand, a Range Rover parked on the gravel and sand. Vnimavai, vnimavai. Be careful, he shouts to the boy, as Arthur starts tossing a small plastic toy. The engine it whimpers, it rattles and whines, as they drive past the Folkestone Victorian lines. The sky is a canvas of miserable lead, a pathetic fallacy looming ahead. The journey to Ashford is gray and quite bleak, as the wiper blades give a rhythmic loud squeak. Marija is watching the landscape go by, with a pensive expression and a soft, quiet sigh. Her long black hair ripples like waves on the sea, a vision of beauty for Pitar to see. We'll find some good bargains, she says with a grin, to mask all the trouble we're currently in. She wears her bright orange to cover the past, hoping this holiday feeling will last. At Ashford, the crowds are a swirling mosaic, making the shopping feel far from prosaic. People from everywhere, cultures so vast, a diversity built on a history long past. The outlet is pulsing with fashion and greed, as shoppers go searching for things they don't need. Pitar is focused, his blue glasses low, as he hunts for a deal in the commercial flow. He navigates through the industrial din, while the moisture of August soaks into his skin. Arthur is ecstatic. His joy is quite clear as he finds a toy shop that he wants to go near. Look at these trainers. They're neon and bright. They'd glow like a beacon in the middle of night. He skips through the puddles with green-tinted eyes under the weight of the thundering skies. But Aurora is loath to enjoy any part. With a heavy and cold, monochromatic heart, she drags her feet slowly, her pink ribbons damp, like a flickering, dying old Victorian lamp. "We haven't been swimming. You promised the sea," Aurora exclaims with a sharp, angry plea. Her loquacity rises. Her words are a flood as she stands in a puddle of Ashford gray mud. Petar is weary, his patience is thin, as he tries to keep all of her tantrums tucked in. The weather was atrocious. The pool was quite cold. Listen to me and do as you're told. He tries to be firm, but his daughter is fierce, with a voice that can easily shatter and pierce. Maria finds shirts in a shade of deep blue and turquoise and silk that is shiny and new. She buys them for work, for the days in the town, to keep her high spirits from tumbling down. Arthur is helping her carry the bags, avoiding the puddles and sharp-edged flags. "You look like a queen," Arthur says with a laugh, as they walk down the outlet's wet, circular path. Maria feels proud of her clever young boy, who finds in the smallest of moments some joy. The Audi is loaded with bags from the store as they head toward Romford and Essex once more. The rain is a curtain, a silver-gray sheet that hammers the metal and drenches the street. Petar is driving with focused intent, though his energy level is totally spent. Maria is quiet, she knows what's in store, when they finally walk through their 6th-floor door. The move is a shadow, a ghost in the car, that follows the family near and then far. Aurora and Arthur are squabbling now, with a dark, heavy cloud on Aurora's pale brow. "I wanted to swim. I wanted the waves. Instead, we are shopping like digital slaves." Arthur tries joking, he tries to be funny. "At least we have shirts, and we spent some good money." But Aurora is incensed. Her anger is deep. A promise of chaos she's planning to keep. She stares out the window at the concrete and gray, hating the end of their last holiday. They stop in the center of Romford's old town, where the Havering Museum wears a brick crown. It's quiet and peaceful, a respite from stress, a place where the history is easy to guess. They learn of the people who worked on the land, of the tools and the trade and the glass and the sand. Maria is fascinated, reading each sign, while the children are forced to stay strictly in line. It's a moment of calm in a day full of noise for the parents and also their girls and their boys. Aurora is bored. Her impatience is vast as she looks at the relics of Romford's long past. Why are we here? It's a dusty old room. It feels like a silent and historical tomb. Arthur is curious, peering at glass, watching the shadows of history pass. He sees an old carriage, a wheel made of wood, and wonders if he could drive it if he could. The diversity shown in the photos of old is a story of Essex that needs to be told. The sun starts to set in a bruised purple hue as the family decides what they now need to do. They drive to the flat, to the tower of brick, where the air in the hallway is heavy and thick. Charrington Court is a looming, tall height against the approach of the Romfordite night. Flat 74 is the place they call home, under the city's vast, darkening dome. Petar is silent. His jaw is set tight as he prepares for the coming and inevitable fight. They enter the lobby. The tiles are all cold, as the story of moving is about to be told. The lift hums a tune, a mechanical groan, while outside the traffic is loud and well known. The surrounding roads are excessively loud, with cacophonous horns from a restless crowd. The flat is so cramped, it's a tight, narrow squeeze, where no one can ever feel fully at ease. Aurora is clutching her backpack of pink, refusing to speak, or to even just blink. Inside of the flat, it is dismal and dim, with shadows that dance on the wall's narrow rim. The natural light is remarkably low, giving the rooms a quite lackluster glow. Directly outside where the children must sleep, the unsightly bins make a mountain so steep. Maria is sighing at the clutter and mess, feeling the weight of the family's stress. "It's too small," cries Aurora. "It's dark as a cave. We live in a box like a literal slave." In the living room, where the ceiling is low, the parents decide that it's time they should know. "We're moving to Chelmsford," Petrova says with a sigh. "The prices in London are simply too high." Maria steps forward, her orange silk bright. "We need a new start and a better, new light." Aurora is frozen, her eyes wide and round, as her pink glasses slip and they fall to the ground. "You're taking my life. You're taking my friends. This is where all of my happiness ends." Her anger explodes like a thunderous boom as she stands in the middle of their shared bedroom. "I won't go to Chelmsford. I won't leave the town. I'll burn this whole building and everything down." Her voice is a siren, a shrill, piercing sound as she throws her pink backpack onto the ground. Petar is infuriated, his blue glasses askew, as he wonders just what his young daughter will do. Ti ludalisi. "Are you crazy, my child?" As Aurora's behavior turns erratic and wild. She turns to the shelves and she starts to attack, with a force that is cruel and a heart that is black. She rips down the posters, she scatters the toys, with a series of loud and cacophonous noises. She throws every book, she destroys every game, as she calls out her parents' and family's name. "Obliterate everything!" Aurora screams out, as she tosses her pillows with a deafening shout. Arthur is watching, his green glasses blurred, as he listens to every destructive foul word. With a sweep of her arm and a crash on the floor, the vase is a million blue shards by the door. The roses are scattered, they wither and die, as Maria looks on with a tear in her eye. The breakage is final, a sharp, glassy sound, as the water seeps slowly into the ground. "Time narani, time narani." "You hurt me today," Maria exclaims, as she turns quite away. The blue of the glass is a sea on the rug, an ocean that no one can easily hug. No, Aurora isn't finished. Her malice is deep, and she finds one more secret that she shouldn't keep. She grabs the new shirts from the laundry day pile and heads for the fireplace with a terrible smile. She tosses the turquoise and silk in the grate, a victim of anger and infantile hate. The fabric is singed by the orange-red glare as the smell of burnt silk fills the Romfordite air. "Mulchi, stiga tolkova. Malki, stiga tolkovo." Petar commands as he catches his daughter and holds both her hands. The fire is extinguished, the fury is spent, as Aurora begins to truly repent. "Vsichko bude nared, Vsichko shte bude nared," Maria declares as she brushes the smoke from the hallway and stairs. "Everything will be okay," she repeats, as the family sits on the sofa's soft seats. The move will be hard, but the love will remain. Through the sun of the morning and August's gray rain, they sit in the silence of flat 74 as the summer of Dover is closed like a door.